position on the field. You know, and this one's a little bit different, right? You usually do the matchups, but I think the quarterbacks are important here to talk about because you have Hurts, who people feel need to prove himself time in and time out, with this quote unquote loaded offense. And then you got Purdy, again, Mr. Irrelevant, but somehow, some way, he's 7-1 this year, I think, or 7-2 because he just lost to Seattle. So I think this matchup of quarterbacks is who doesn't make the mistake, right? Is who's going to win in the quarterback duel between Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy. We know, to your point
Yeah.
earlier on, when it's time to play ball, we know what Jalen Hurts can do,
Yeah.
right? And we've seen it time and time again. He's proven it time and time again. I personally don't think he needs to do anything Jalen Hurt-esque in this game because I just think it's really a bad matchup for San Fran. But I think Purdy has a lot to prove because of the fact he was taken out of that game early. Now they're not the same team they were. They don't have the dynamic playmakers that they did a receiver at that game. So it's going to be a little bit different. But I still think Purdy wants to prove that he would have been a difference in that game where he got knocked out by having a good game in this game. So
I watched that game last night. I watched that game last night, the 2022 NFC Championship.
Oh, where?
Um, I really would like people to, if you're talking about, this, and I even said, these teams don't like each other because of certain players, but it's more of the leftover players between the two outside of those who are staples on both rosters.
Right.
It was kind of the young bulls that really got into it more than the old heads because Fletcher Cox was on that team. Our starting linebackers were T.J. Edwards and Kaiser White.
Epps was on that team too, I think.
Marcus Epps and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson were the starting safeties. James Bradbury, Darius Slay were the corners. Avonte Maddox played nickel. Your edge rushers were Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat. So we've come a long way since that game.
Mm-hmm.
I got a fun question for you.
What's up?
So, out of the top 14 highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL this year,
mm-hmm.
I pose a question to you. How many made the playoffs? Have you seen this stat yet?
No, I haven't seen this stat.
So out of the top 14 highest paid quarterbacks, only 6 of which made the playoffs this year.
I was going to guess half. I was like maybe less than half.
Yeah, so you got obviously highest paid at $60 million. Dak Prescott, he did not make it. Jordan Love and Josh Allen at 55, they made it. Joe Burrow at 55 did not. Trevor Lawrence at 55 did. Tua 53-1 did not. Purdy 53 did. Jared Goff 53 did not. Justin Herbert 52.5 did. Lamar Jackson 52 did not. Jalen Hurts 51 did. The rest is Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes. They did not. What I wanted to speak about here on Hurts and Purdy is their contracts are actually like extremely similar. Like it is insane to see how these contracts were structured. Total value of Jalen Hurts' contract was $255 million. The next person up from that would be Lamar at 260. And if you remember, those two were done one after another. The Eagles tend to get ahead of that QB market. And Brock Purdy's is actually 265. It's a whole 10 mil over. So we talk about how these franchises are intertwined. Purdy's contract was set up off of Jalen Hurts's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I genuinely believe that. Like, it was set up off of Jalen Hurts's. And I think that the two players are similar in a sense. I think that both of them elevated their highest. All they do is win. Their production doesn't necessarily blow the stat sheets away, but they continue to do what they need to do. I don't necessarily think that we're banking on Brock Purdy not playing well this game, but I do believe that our defense will overwhelm, like you kind of hinted at earlier. It's McCaffrey, it's Kittle, it's Juszczyk. They don't have what they had in 2022, which was Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, they were loaded. They were loaded back then.
Yeah.
They just don't have that now. So
especially with Deebo, because Deebo and CMC, you could just do a lot of different stuff with them. They could,
and they just don't. They don't have that same.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah,
They
they
have
got
all the same
who was
group
it?
of players.
Robinson and Jennings. Juszczyk
Yeah,
is
Juwan Jennings is a player. He is. He's a hothead, but he's a player.
yeah,
Tonga's the backup to Kittle's good.
yeah.
Hughes Jack, obviously the fullback they use in a lot of different ways.
Mhm.
Trent Williams is arguably the best left tackle of all time. There's a lot of talent on their team. They are just extremely banged up on defense. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, in my opinion, the best player in the entire team, Fred Warner, we are unsure of his status for this game.
So supposedly, what the word on the street is, and before we get back to Hurts and Purdy, is that he was slated to only come back for the NFC Championship game. That
I
was
read
the
some
time
stuff
to
about that, and then they lost another linebacker in the most recent game.
yeah.
Um,
Was it is it not? But is it Batoon? That's not his name, is it? What's that?
yeah, he got hurt, but then D. Winters got hurt too.
Yeah, and then the other outside linebacker got hurt too.
Yeah, Winters was
They're
the guy.
starting offensive. They're starting linebackers.
Oh, they're decimated at linebacker.
They're done.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
cooked.
they would. You want to talk about a team that would kill for a Jihad Campbell or Nakobe Dean right now? They would kill for that. I mean, they're decimated there. They also are the last in the league in sacks. They only have 18 team sacks, led by their top edge rusher Bryce Huff. Huff and Keon White from the Patriots.
So I'm going to surprise you with this matchup. I actually think Purdy outplays Hurts in this game because I don't think Hurts needs to do anything for us to win this game.
Well, I think that's a given. I think anytime these two would go at each other, I think 9 times out of 10 Purdy stats are going to look better. I think that's just more of like flow of game and the way that Purdy plays the Eagles. Yeah, I mean, I would say Hurts versus Purdy. I mean, if I had to pick one to start my franchise with, obviously I'm going to take Jalen.
Yeah,
nothing to do with me being a fan or whatever. It's just it comes down to Purdy's gonna outperform Jalen on Sunday. That's what's gonna happen. We just have to make sure that it doesn't result in a W for the Niners.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that shit.
That's about it. I mean, Niners been. Dude, Purdy's been throwing up 5 passing touchdowns like it's nothing. Now, if you watch the way they happen, it's not like they're throwing these deep balls and all.
Yeah, he had a